All right, we are live. What's up, No Madness? What's up, our Facebook fam? I'm excited to see you guys. I feel like it's been so long since we've done one of these, but it was definitely worth the wait. We're gonna let some of you guys come in here. I want to make sure that you can hear me. I want to make sure that you can see me. I want to make sure that you come with your questions because this is gonna be really fun. I'm really excited about this conversation and where it's going to lead to. I want to know more about you. I know we have people that have already signed up for your free webinar that's happening on Wednesday. So I'm excited for all of this conversation. And as a fellow solo traveler, especially before I started No Madness, I'm also excited to, just kind of like see and talk and chat. I see we have people coming in. You guys, let me know if you can hear and see me well. Shout out where you're coming in from. I want to give some shouts out to you guys. We ain't really traveling like that just yet. So I'm going to use you guys in your shout outs, to let me know where you guys are coming from and see if I can get my fix in. So definitely drop a comment and we'll be able to pop you up on the screen through the StreamYard platform. But I'm just really excited to be here. Like the feedback that we were getting in Tribe, the newsletters, like I can't wait for everybody to see what you have in store for Wednesday nights. I can't wait for it. This is Shakeemah Smith of Travel Like a Boss, BAWSE, because she's got swag like that. She's got swag like that. All right, I'm getting the messages. We got them in saying that we can hear and see you. Thank you, Facebook user. I appreciate that. You guys, you can drop your comments at any time. I'm going to be going back through the comments as we go through the conversation. We're going to kick it. I do have some direct comments and questions for Shakeemah, but listen. So you came on my radar and was like, hey, hi, I'm here. I need to talk to you. I have this amazing course and it's around traveling solo and budget traveling, and it would be beneficial for No Madness Travel Tribe and all of these things. And so I really want to start at the beginning, right? Shameekah, like tell everybody, who are you? How did you get to this place that you are in right now? Tell us your story. Because you at 57, 54 solo countries?
58 all together, but 53 solo.
Okay, nice. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Let's go back. Let's bring it back. Who are you?
So, hey, everybody. My name is Shakeemah Smith. My Instagram is The Passport Abuser. And I'm a female solo traveler. I have traveled to 53 countries solo. I've been to 58 countries altogether. My solo travel journey started with like a lot of like heartbreak. Like I was just kind of going through a breakup or whatever. And, I just really needed to get away. But and I actually shared this with Avita. It's funny how the universe is so friendly. So in 2015, I was going through a breakup and I needed to find a way to heal. No Madness Tribe was actually in the New York Times, and I read an article and I started following No Madness, and I was like, okay, wow. So it's Black women who are traveling the world solo. I think I can do this. Like representation really does matter, Avita. Yeah. And I was like, wow, okay, I can do this. And I started traveling the world by myself because I was tired of waiting on my friends. I mean, like, you know how it is, right? Like everybody starts a group chat saying that they going. Then when it's time to pay, people not going.
Right.
And it's like they can't get the time off, or they don't got a babysitter, or their car broke down. And like, I was just tired of allowing that to pretty much hold me back. Like, it ain't my fault that you got a baby dad. Like, it's not my fault. Like, if this is my last year of living, I don't want it to be that I didn't fulfill my personal legend because I was too busy marching to the beat of everybody else's drum. And plus, every now and then you got to hit that reset button, right? And sometimes that requires a lot of quiet time. And then another thing was, honestly, I just felt like I needed to kick fear in the ass because everybody was telling me like, girl, you going to travel out there by yourself? You going to get snatched? Ain't you seen Taken? You stupid? You crazy? And I was like, well, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. Like, I have common sense. Like, what could be worse than like growing up here? So I just went for it. And country number one was Paris. So Paris has a very, very special place in my heart because that's where I kind of took my first solo travel trip. That's where I gained my wings. And ever since 2015, like, to be honest with you, and I've said this to you, Evita, several times offline. I've said to you, like, Evita, thank you so much, because when I read the article about No Madness and I found you in 2015, I knew that it was a part of my purpose, and I wasn't crazy. I wasn't the only one doing it. I wasn't like weird.
You were not. And there was a tribe out there. I just put this comment up too. Somebody says, same. It was my first solo trip too. So Paris,
Yeah.
shout out to Paris. Matter of fact, it was the first place I was an expat. So I'm gonna get on this Paris bandwagon.
Right. That was the first place that I was actually an expat as well. So worked out. And so I started traveling the world, right? And I would feel so good about myself, and all the bad shit about me, all that self-sabotaging thoughts that I needed to unpack. I could slow down enough time while I was traveling and learn enough about the other people and just get lost at a cafe or just anything. And I was able to kind of heal a little bit. And then all the things that I liked about myself, like, oh, look at me keeping my word to myself and taking my first solo trip. Look at me, I made it to Paris by myself. Like, I started to gain more confidence, started to get my little stripes or whatever, because I'm like, I did it. And it felt so good. Country number 1 just turned into like country 58. And all the mistakes that I made, you know, you get to country 11 and you're like, oh shit, do not go to an ATM. Like, just call your bank, get the euros ahead of time. Don't let them catch you slipping. Or like just very logistical things that I didn't know that I had to learn through the hard knock way. Other women don't have to do that, because I've been solo traveling for 8 years, and 58 countries later, I've already figured it out. So that way they can accelerate that process a lot easier than I did.
Right. I mean, trial and error is priceless. So going back to your New Jersey roots, right? And shouts out, I'm in Newark, New Jersey now. So Jersey says, hey. With that being said, you told me that before you actually launched your Travel Like a Boss course, that you would do these workshops with like women in your neighborhood. Like, how did that start? I thought that was so cool. I'm all for grassroots community, you know, that's my shit. So like hearing that you were like posted up at like Starbucks and stuff like that, I was like, yo, this is intriguing, but it also shows not just your hustle, but also like, yo, I need to get this information out. Like, it's valuable. If you will rock with me at this cafe for X amount of like time, I will make sure that you leave with all the information that you need. So what was that process like?
So it was super organic. I started traveling the world, and I was posting it on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter. And girls were reaching out to me saying, hey, I see you traveling by yourself all the time, and I see you making it back home. It looks really fun. The pictures look great. How are you doing this? And I'm like, oh, I actually have a system in my notebook for every single thing that could go wrong and what the remedy for it is. And I have all that stuff planned. So this is my system, Travel Like a Boss. And they were like, okay, well, can you teach me? So I didn't have an office space back then or anything. So I would meet women. I would tell women to meet me at Starbucks on Bloomfield Avenue in Montclair. And we would sit down once a week, and I would teach them everything that I knew. And we would meet for about 6 weeks. And I would give them copies of my itinerary to help them. So that way, when they went to Paris, they knew who the driver was. They know which arrondissement to stay at. They knew which excursions to do. They knew which restaurants speak English. They know which restaurants have American food. So the more I traveled, I took a bunch of notes in my notebook, and I would keep itineraries, WhatsApp numbers to drive, just anything that you can think of. And so women kept reaching out. Finally, in 2017, I got my first client in London. You know, Instagram is a thing. Like, it's a platform that it doesn't even cost you to, you know, really use the platform. So women were reaching out to me. I was doing it online. And then I got my first customer in London. Once that happened, I put the course online. So that way, no matter where I was, Evita, anybody could learn. And at this point, Travel Like a Boss has enrolled 400 women from 11 different countries. I'm sorry. We got a girl from Ecuador yesterday, 12 different countries, over 400 women. So yeah, that's how it went from like being grassroots. I mean, girl, if we gonna talk about being honest, cause y'all know I'm from East Orange, so I'm explicit.
They love your energy. Alicia, I put it up while you were talking. She's like, I love Keemah's energy. She hypes me up.
Oh, thank you, boo. So yeah, so if I'm gonna be really honest, if y'all want the TTT, in addition to me teaching the women in New Jersey at the Starbucks, girls would be reaching out to me from Miami, LA, and they would be like, yo, come teach me. I'm trying to travel. I will pay any amount of money to not wait on my girlfriends and just totally rock this shit. Like, so I would catch a budget airline called Fly Frontier out of Trenton, New Jersey. And it would be like $40 to go to Atlanta. And I would tell girls like, hey, once I get 6 of y'all, I will come down to Atlanta. So I would get a hotel room, have a conference for 2 days, break the course up, and teach them that. And so that way, when I left on Sunday, I flew back home because I was working for DIFAS at the time, which is like a child protection agency in New Jersey. I did that for 14 years. They paid for my master's degree, you know, so I worked and was traveling the world by still like working 9 to 5 too, you know? And, oh, hey, Maya says she's from Trenton. Okay. So, hey, Maya. So, yeah, so I would get like girls in LA and I would tell my parents, like, I'm flying out to LA to teach Travel Like a Boss. When I got that very first client in London, it was such a time difference. I just put the course online. From there,
yeah,
women,
smart.
yeah.
Smart.
And from there,
that's the way to scale it. I love it. Everybody loves your energy. Well, listen, I'm gonna put this out here. We already talked to her about this, but we haven't announced this yet. But she's also gonna be speaking at Audacity Digi 5, y'all. So get your fucking tickets for May 1st. Like, when we drop them, we're taking this Travel Like a Boss to a next level. She's definitely going to be with us. Maya actually says here again, I'm going to pop it up. She was just like, hey, y'all, I can't wait to travel again. I know that is the sentiment of everybody. The question that I have for you is, you have an affinity, I would say, for solo travel and also budget. Is that correct?
Yep.
So when it comes to the solo travel, why was that like your main affinity? What made you kind of like go that route?
So, Avita, I'm about to tell you some shit that I've never told anybody because I was waiting to put it in my book. Okay. How I started my solo travel journey wasn't just because I was going through a breakup. It was my birthday weekend in Amsterdam, and the 2 girls that I was with, I'm just going to keep it 100. The 2 girls that I was with, like, they wanted to try coke, and I just wasn't with the shits because that's just not going to be a part of my legacy. Like, if I die, it would disgrace
in
my
Amsterdam.
family.
This ain't gonna be why.
My mother would be disgraced, and I'm the oldest of 6 kids. So I'm like the leader of this family. So, you know, as far as the kids go. So, I was like, nah, I'm not with that shit. They was like, oh my God, you're so judgy. I'm like, listen, you can do it. It's not my nose. Like, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that I don't partake in shit like that. I'm just, no judgment. You can do it right next to me. I'm just saying that is not a part of my legacy, my body. If I put that in my body, it's just not for me. And they were like, oh my God, you're being so stuck up. You know, we just gonna get our own hotel room. And I'm like, okay. And the next morning when I woke up, they really got their own hotel room. And I called my mom and I was crying my eyes out. I had never traveled solo before. I didn't know what to do. I didn't come by myself, so I didn't want to leave by myself. And you know, Amsterdam with the red light district, shit get kind of popping, and which is cool. And it's actually safe. But for me to be out in Amsterdam, in the red light district by myself, I was just scared. And so I came back after they left me straight. It was my birthday weekend, mind you. And so after they left me stranded, I came back home and I said, you know what? I got a whiteboard and I said, what are all the things that could go wrong if I do this by myself? What's all the safety tools? How can I be prepared? And I started building it up. And then I went to Paris. Once I got to country 23, I had collected 72 notebooks of everything that I had done and everything I could have did better. And I packaged it into the course. And that was at country 23. And then when I got to like country, I would say 38, I had left Prague. And when I got my first client in London, I put the course online. And then from 38, now we have 58. And that's how I kind of got started, by being left on vacation. Crazy ass story. And it gets crazier, but I'll save that for the book.
Everything gets crazier in Amsterdam. I love this. She said, girl, there's somewhere mad now, like a boss popping. Right. Seriously. Well. But that's like so, and it's funny you say that. So when I moved.
Oh, Avita, I can't hear you.
When I moved to Paris the first time, I actually took a weekend trip by myself to Amsterdam because I said, whatever I do in Amsterdam, I don't want it to follow me anywhere else. I don't want anybody to know. Nobody. And it was like, and I didn't even do anything crazy because low key, I'm a scaredy cat. Like when it comes to just like all that, like drugs and all other stuff, I'm like, yo, I don't like feeling like I can't control my body. And so that was like a big thing for me, but I feel it. She's saying team row solo. Even when I travel with someone, I always plan it like I'm traveling solo, even down to the excursions, period. Yeah.
Understood.
Just have the options. There's nothing wrong with having those options, right?
Understood,
Like,
sis. Understood, Alicia.
yeah, absolutely. Now, was travel always a part of your story? Like, was this something that you did, that your family did, or was it something that you kind of came into as you got older?
No, it was actually something that I came into when I got older, which is why I would always once a year teach a free class at the East Orange Public Library for anybody who came and they had a license showing that they lived in East Orange. I would teach everybody for free once a year. How many people could come to East Orange Library? So, you know, me being one of 6 kids, both of my parents only have a high school education. But yet they sent 3 kids to college. Like when I would come home on the weekends from school, we didn't really have any lights in our house. And not because, you know, my parents weren't taking care of us, but because literally me and my sisters are each a year apart and they're putting 3 girls through college at the same time. So we didn't have a lot of like, oh, we're going to go on trips. I don't think that they had the tools or you know, I don't think that they had that to be able to say, yes, we want our kids to see the world, you know? So when I took my first trip ever out of the country ever to Jamaica, I was like, yo, this is what I want. Like, so it just kind of like bit me like that. I just loved it so much. And once I kind of took out the friends component, I truly felt like I was set free.
I think that that's amazing. And I love this. I was about to say the same thing. I'm gonna pop this comment up by Micah. Kudos to your parents.
Thank you, Micah.
That is not a small feat at all. I literally took the words right out of my mouth. I think I definitely share the same sentiment as they have. And I'm glad that you were able to take that. I feel like we all have these like pivotal moments where things like flip and all of a sudden it's like we get it, right? And we realize that like the rest of our life is going to be chartered. And for, you know, you and me, a lot of it, it's funny actually because my stepfather's Jamaican, which means also my earlier trips were to Jamaica and then also Paris. I don't know, like serendipity. I don't know.
Right.
But I want to get into Travel Like a Boss. So for those of you who are in Tribe and who follow us on different channels, you've been seeing since last Thursday, we've been dropping these fly ass photos of this lady here with these like amazing captions. And if you get our newsletter, you've been getting it as well with the link to sign up for her free webinar on Wednesday. So I want to talk about the Travel Like a Boss webinar. What time does it start? We have it in the comments. You guys can scroll up in the comments and we'll put it up here again too now for you guys to sign up for the free webinar. What can people expect from this webinar from you?
So, what you guys can expect is to learn how I was able to travel the world for so cheap. Guys, like I said, I'm one of 6 kids. I'm from the hood. So, you know, being one of 6 kids, you learn how to get a lot accomplished with the least amount of resources. So most people actually don't know that I got my first 20 passport stamps for under $100, literally.
Wait,
so
how? Wait, how? Hold up.
I'm going to show y'all on Wednesday.
Okay.
Pull up. And let me tell you guys, if you guys have a friend that you're like, yo, they need this information too, like whole squad need this information, cousins need this information, tell them to pull up too. So yeah, most people, like when they see me always on the gram, they like, she stays somewhere. Like she must got like a sugar daddy or she must have like a rich parent or like, nah. I literally got my first 20 passport stamps for under $100. So I'm going to be showing you guys that too. The reason why that's super important is because I want to make sure that everybody that looks like me knows that, yes, I can travel the world. My nephew, he's been with me to London. He's been with me to Paris. And I'm going to talk more about that on Wednesday night, but he's 13 and he has 7 passport stamps. He's like my little road dog. Like he goes with me everywhere. And it's really just because it's not as expensive as what you think. You guys are just kind of buying into these limiting beliefs that, oh, I can't afford it. No, you can afford it. And I'm going to show you how.
Limiting belief is the thing. I think every good course always starts with breaking down whatever the emotional or like limiting belief components are. I love that. I love that.
Right. Absolutely. And another great thing that I'm going to go over on the webinar is like how you guys can actually visit 2 countries for the price of 1, like save even more. I'm going to go over like safety tips, packing tips, health tips, because like it's stuff that you guys probably haven't even thought about that like I've already went through and thought about. So I want you guys to know. And my goal is for every single Black woman that actually wants to travel and become more cultured, become more self-aware, learn more. You can do that. My nephew, he's been with me to Nelson Mandela's house. And he's like, wow, Nelson Mandela, there's still bullet holes in his house. I'm like, yes, baby. Do you know that Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu are the only 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners in the world that live on the same block? That's only in Africa, baby. Like, he said to me, like, oh, I want to go, when I turn 18, I want to go to London for the summer because I like to take modern. He knows that because he was exposed to that. So it's not that my parents really didn't do a good job. They put 3 of their 6 kids through college, but it's just that they didn't really have the tools. And I want to make sure that, you know, for everybody who's watching, if you have kids, that you're able to kind of like change that scarcity mindset and like upgrade their quality of life. And that generational shift can start just with knowledge. So I used to believe like, oh, only white people could like go on vacation all the time and take their kids. Like, that was just my belief. Like, oh, Black people can't afford, like, we don't. Black people have spent, I think they said $3 trillion of, like, we spend the most money. You get what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that you guys can start a generational shift. And when that generational shift happens within your family, now my nephew with 7 passport stamps, he's like, bruh, like, how do you think he's going to raise his kids now? You know, like that standard is going to be a lot different because it started with me. And then like his little friends, they're like, oh, so like you're going to Paris this month. That's normal for him. And now it's kind of opening up other people in the community about like what they can do. So everything that it took me 8 years and 58 countries to learn, y'all don't have to learn on y'all ass about it. Like, you don't have to be scared to like go out there and make mistakes. I've already made the mistakes. Avita has blazed a trail and I've kind of followed. And, you know, I've just packaged all my expertise into this course. Absolutely, Eve. Absolutely. Vacation is a requirement. For me, I don't even call it vacation. I just say, this is my lifestyle.
Yeah, this is your lifestyle. And it's funny, I specifically popped this one up with Eve because we just got done doing our data. So many of you guys know, probably the last time I went live in this format was when we were going through our data. I can finally say that as of last Thursday, our data set is finished and ready to be promoted. We have our marketing meetings. Girl, we've been working on that since the beginning of April. Like, it's been nuts. But with that, I popped it up because one of my favorite data pieces that we got was 60% of our survey takers, which was over 5,000 people. 60% said that travel is a necessity for them, not a luxury. That is massive. That was literally one of my keys. Like, literally in the report, I put a little key next to it because I'm like, yo, like, you have to understand that this is the mind space, that the emotional space that these travelers that are part of our community are in. This is not something that they do. Like, they are changing lives. They're sacrificing certain bills. They're consolidating stuff. They're negotiating time off at their jobs or location independence. Like, they're doing what they need to do to make sure that travel is a part of it because it is a necessity for them, not a luxury. And I think the term travel gets this like luxury connotation just in general. And I can tell you right now, from the 5,299 people that took our survey, 60% of them are like, nah, B. And even outside of that, other people said like neither, but 60% said that it's a necessity. So these are people like, the travel's not going to go anywhere in their lives. Yeah, it's not going to stop. Like, this is who they are and who we are intrinsically. And it's like, listen, you need to know that this is the thought process that you're going into. So Eve is right on board with this.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. I love that. I love that. So Wednesday, everybody can sign up. We have the links that are being put every single place that you can see over here. I love the name Travel Like a Boss. Where did you come up with that?
My mom. Girl, my mom. Like, my mom names everything. Like, one day she was like, come here, little passport abuser. And I was like, oh, that's it. Thank you. Like,
that's my Instagram.
And I just changed my Instagram. And I was like, you know, Mom, I really need a name for the company. You know, I want something like that's really good. And she was like, well, you know, you be traveling like a boss. And I was like, that's it. Like, she's just really, really good with that. And so, guys, I just want to thank everybody for coming. And Avita, I've said this to you a lot offline, so this ain't even no phony shit or for cameras or nothing like that. But I am so indebted to you, because when I saw that article, it was the last piece. I feel like I'm about to get emotional, but when I
know,
read
I'm
the
like, don't make me cry, because I'll cry.
when I read the article, you know how you already on the ledge, you're already there, and you just gotta jump, and you're just waiting on that push. I felt like I was in a cage, and I felt like, damn, like I got money, I got a great job, I got everything. I just want to do something else that other people are like. I want to do something different. I want to travel. I want to see something else. And I was like right there. And when I read that article, it was like, all right, this is it. I can just do it. And I had been left in Amsterdam, and I was kind of scared to get back out there. So I bought a whiteboard and I started taking notes on it every day. And I just tried to really prepare myself for, just one trip. It started out with just one trip. Like, can I just do one trip? Because these girls left me. I'm not going to let that knock me off my square. I still want to travel. And now I don't ever want to be in a position ever again where I'm waiting on anybody or anything like that is going wrong. I just got to get out there. And I never could imagine that one trip, with me keeping my word to myself, would end up with me being in Forbes and having a billboard in Times Square and getting the cover of USA Today. Like, I never imagined that all that would happen, because I just wanted to see the world. And when I read the article about No Madness in the New York Times, it was the confirmation for me. So like I told you in our little private emails, I said, thank you so much, because everything has come full circle. Here we are, like 7 years later, 8 years later. But No Madness Tribe, and then I watch your TED Talks, and I'm a groupie bitch. Like, I'm a groupie. So it was really great to see that. And it was like, when you actually responded back to the message, I was like, oh my God, it says she's typing. Like, so thank you for thank you for creating a space where Black women could have that positive energy. Like, yes, it is possible. Don't listen to your family. Oh, girl, you ain't gonna make it back home, or if you go or anything. It kind of, for me, the journey kind of started. The journey was solidified when I read the article in the New York Times all those years ago. So I am totally indebted to you, and thank you so much for everything you've done for me and for every woman or guy in the Black travel community. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I received that. So thank you. I think you are, when I sit back, No Madness is going to be 10 years old in September.
Woo!
10 years old. And we're sitting here and we're contemplating, okay, what is our 10-year anniversary going to look like? Especially because we're probably not going to be able to do it in person. But to sit back, my 37th birthday is in March.
Okay.
March 31st.
Okay.
And No Madness's 10-year birthday is in September of this year. When I look back, almost a quarter of my life has been dedicated to No Madness. A decade of my life has been dedicated to No Madness. I started this when I was 27 years old, and I'm going to be 37 in about 2 months. And what happens during that age bracket and that particular decade, the growth that you go from 27 to 37, to go from your 20s into your 30s, right? Yeah. All the transitions that you go through are so big. And I'm in the middle of a massive transition now, because now I'm looking at, okay, we're getting the systems and everything together, and No Madness is a life and an entity of its own. And it's this beautiful community that I'm so grateful for and appreciative of. But also, like, okay, what's Avita's dreams, and what does the next step in this culture conversation and in this travel conversation really look like, right?
Right.
So these are the questions that I've been asking myself and answering for myself going into this year. And I'm really excited of how certain dreams that I have, personal dreams, are manifesting in this moment.
Oh,
and a lot of it is because of what was built. But when I hear people like you talk, and I listen to your story, and, really take in and receive the gratitude, you all are a testament to the fight that I had in the earlier years, right? When nobody was answering our emails, when nobody was picking up our phone calls, when we had to crowdfund to get money to do anything, right? Kickstarter campaigns, for our cross-country road trip, for our first anniversary party, what ended up turning into our anniversary party. it was me seeing what this could be in the industry and understanding it from the community, right?
Yep.
But the industry being like, y'all are a fad, or Black people don't travel to these places, or they don't do the same things and they don't have the same interests that other people have. It was all of this that being the first, it's like you're alone fighting those battles at first. And it's like, yo, bruh, listen to me. Like, this is something, we're not going anywhere. And if I'm the creator and like the founder of this one definitely ain't going nowhere. And we're just going to keep going. And so it's crazy. I feel like the industry really started to pay attention to us when I got super busy around like 2017.
Okay.
Still, that was 7 years already into this. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to see it. And we're still having, and we still have a need for other groups like this, and, you know, accountabilities like Black Travel Alliance. And, you know, it's like, we still have such a need for this stuff. Even the data that we're doing, it's to still continue to like put the numbers behind it and be like, yo, like, we're not full of shit. Like, guys, this is exactly what's going on. This is the power and the influence that we have in this industry. And we need y'all to get that, you know? And so I've always been a big proponent of creating my own table while getting a seat at theirs. Right. And becoming a plug and a gateway and an access point for my people. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of the work I'm doing right now at like Condé Nast Traveler. And so when I hear you guys are the testament that I wasn't crazy 10 years ago, like fighting the fight, having to crowdfund and raise money internally because nobody was paying attention to us. But I knew that it was bigger than even just our group in No Madness. And so when I see people like you coming out the gate and being able to create these businesses and be successful and also share the education, right? Which is so key. Right. Share the education with the people. It's like, yo, it doesn't get better than this. It's like watching my children like, you know, like flourish and grow. And so that's why I try to remain accessible. Like when you reached out to me, it was like, hell yeah, this makes absolute sense. But also it's a value add and it's something that's beneficial for my community. You know, it's not bullshit. You're not coming in here trying to talk about something that's completely left. Like, listen, we talk about this. Everybody that's watching this live, whether you're watching it live or in a replay, this is relevant to you. And you all, there's literally no reason why you shouldn't sign up and show up to the webinar on Wednesday. It's free, and you're going to be leaving with intel and information that you absolutely need to live the lifestyle that you have. I don't care if you're not traveling right now. You're going to take these gems and you're going to implement them when it's time for you to go out, or you're going to implement them now and you're just going to do it safely, understanding COVID. You know, like it's there's no loss to it. It's a win-win across the board. And so I just really, really personally want to encourage everybody, please sign up for the webinar. It's going down on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
8 p.m. Eastern time.
Excuse me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just think it's amazing. And we're going to put the links up here again. I don't know if is there anything else that you want to leave with our community of travelers that are here? I think I have a question from somebody. You guys who are watching, if you have any questions for her, please, you can put them in the comments. I'll pop you back up. I'm going to try to find it. I will say this, people on YouTube and on the Facebook fan page, I'm seeing your stuff more. So as far as the comments, so you can throw them on in. I know I have one from earlier, but any questions that you have, let me know.
So Nisi asked, what websites or airlines help you get the most out of a layover? So I'm actually going to go over this on Wednesday. That's actually something that I show you guys. So on Wednesday, I will definitely show you how you can always visit 2 countries for the price of 1. Let me just see, Avita, if you see any other questions in there, you can like hop on.
I see this. This was Nisi's. I just popped it up. Yeah. What websites and airlines? Okay, got this. We have another one here. Somebody asked, will the replay be available? Yes, it will be. Veronica, I don't know where you're watching from right now, if you're on the Facebook fan page or in the tribe or on YouTube, but it will be available. We're going to send it out in our newsletter as well. That's going out with our final sign up attempt for you guys. Final chance for you to sign up. We'll have the replay on here, and also it's going to live in Tribe and on our social channels. So yeah, we're definitely going to have it. You'll be able to see the replay for sure.
And so for everybody who comes, I'm going to give you guys some free itineraries. My itineraries are about 40 pages long. So for everybody who signs up, I'm going to have some giveaways. So the first giveaway is that I am going to give you guys a $25 voucher to put your first flight on layaway. And I know most people are like, wait a minute, you can put a flight on layaway? I told y'all I'm one of 6 kids, so I get super creative with how I'm able to travel the world and make sure I can pay this mortgage in here. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to put flights on layaway, especially for the moms, right? So if you're like a mom and you're like, hey, listen, I got kids, you know, I still want to travel. I want to bring the kids too and make it affordable. No problem. So for you guys who sign up, I'm going to give you guys a $25 voucher to put your first flight on layaway. And I'm also going to give you a $65 Airbnb coupon code. In addition to that, I'm also going to give you guys one of the itineraries from my 58 countries because I get super, I'm big on detail.
Yeah, because I'm like 48 pages. That's intense.
Yeah, girl, I'll like email you some itinerary so that way you can see like, oh my God, she really writes all of this down.
Yeah.
So I want to give you guys a free itinerary as well. So I'm going to have some giveaways as long as you guys stay to the end of the webinar, and you'll get them as soon as the webinar is done. We're going to be live. Pull up, take notes. Ask me whatever you want to ask me on this webinar. I'm super excited. And when you guys walk away from this webinar on Wednesday night, you guys will know, number one, how to travel the world for under $100. You guys are going to know if you're traveling over $100, how to put that flight on layaway, right? Because like I said, this travel like a boss, not travel like a broke person, okay? Like
not travel like a broke.
Right, like we can't, I'm not trying to be broke for traveling, because if I spend all my money on one trip, I don't have the money for the next trip, and I need to be in the air more than I'm on the ground. So this is what you guys are going to learn. I'm going to show you guys how to visit 2 countries for the price of 1. I'm going to show you guys my number 1 safety tool that I have used to all 58 countries. I'm going to show you guys how I did that. I'm going to show you guys how to build up the confidence to take your first solo travel trip. And it's really important. I really want you guys to think about transformation, right? Because my transformation has been so polarized. Like I went from being stranded in Amsterdam by myself on my damn birthday weekend to getting a billboard above the Forever 21 in Times Square because I travel so much, and Travel Like a Boss has been featured, in
and because she is that dope.
I mean, so guys, definitely pull up. There's going to be a lot to learn. And just because of, how I feel about No Madness Tribe, I'm giving you guys like these giveaways. So definitely come. If you have a friend or a cousin or any aunties, whoever, send them the link. Definitely tell them to pull up. My Instagram is The Passport Abuser. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everyone tomorrow, Wednesday night.
Yes, definitely. All right. So you guys know it's in the comments. It's up here. It's also in the caption of this post, and it's going out in our newsletters. So it is going to be Wednesday, January 27th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the free webinar with Shakeemah Smith from Travel Like a Boss is going up. Solo travel, budget travel, tips and tricks, all that good stuff. If you want it, go after it. And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys in the next couple of days. Shakeemah, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Every time that we talk, whether it's in front of people or not, it's such a blast. And I can't wait to be able to meet in person and be able to love up on you in person and just say thank you, because you also, it's a reaffirmation. And so as much as you get from this, please understand and know that I get as much from it as well. And I'm really, really, really grateful for that. So thank you.
Thank you. So, all right, guys, have a great night. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Avita, thank you so much for having me.
Likewise. Talk to you soon, love.
Okay. Bye.